3-1, 4-2.
3-1, 2-1, 5-4-3-2-1. Hello there. We're doing something. We're doing something that we usually do, and I might start that again. Actually.
Yeah.
Hello there. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. I've just realised my hands smell of Play-Doh. I've been playing with Play-Doh this morning.
You can lick that too because it's non-toxic.
I don't know if I want to taste it. It does sure smell nice, though. Hi, you're listening to Chatting Pitch, the podcast
not sponsored by Play-Doh.
Review different color Play-Dohs, also movies. And
can I ask you, what's your favorite Play-Doh?
What's my favorite Play-Doh?
Color-wise.
As in the color?
Yeah.
I like a darker color because I think with the lighter colors, if you accidentally mix them, it's really obvious. It's a bit like getting mud on a white car. If you get mud on a white car, it's really obvious. But if you get mud on a darker car, it's not as obvious.
Yeah. Well, how about the what's your favorite Play-Doh shape? You know, you get those shapes that you can the little things where you push down and it comes out in a little shape.
Yeah, we got a few of those. I quite like. Have you ever used the pasta maker one? That's very satisfying.
No. It has been a hot minute since I've played Play-Doh. I haven't played it since I was a child.
Oh, that's the benefits of having a 3-year-old. So you put it in there and you squash it and it comes out like a spaghetti, like thin worms.
I know the spaghetti one. I thought you meant literal fusilli pasta
twirls. Oh, no. Spaghetti. That would be really fancy.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
That's rich people's Play-Doh. Like the little bow tie pasta.
That's Play-Doh Italian edition, el dente. And what was it? You got the star, you got the crescent moon.
Okay.
I think square and circle from my memory. But I remember when I was a kid, I was at my grandma's house and there was a old Play-Doh set. I was like, oh great, I've always wanted to play with Play-Doh. But the Play-Doh had unfortunately dried out a little bit, so it didn't really go through, and it was all broken up and there was cracks in it. Needless to say, the Play-Doh experience I had as a child was not as great as others. I wish there's nothing stopping me going to this toy shop and just getting some Play-Doh.
Just pretend that you have a child. So you'll go up to the counter and you'll be like, "This is for my child. I have a child. I am a dad."
One thing that so me and my partner were looking at theme parks to go around at one point because we were bored on one week and I thought, Alton Towers is a bit too far away. Thorpe Park's a bit too far away. What's the nearest theme park? Oh, we looked at one called Gulliver's World. I'm like, oh, you know what? It might be fun. Never heard of it before, but let's check it out. Looked at the terms and conditions, and it says you are not allowed in without a child.
Oh,
like, okay. So it's a family-friendly thing. So we were thinking, okay, who do we know that has a child that we can pretend to be our child so we can go to this theme park? And to this day, we still have yet to.
So it's like the inverse. Instead of a child being like, "Dad, I want to go to the theme park," it's like you going up to a child and going, "Come on,
you will come to this theme park.
What's your name?
We will get into Gulliver's World." One day that'll be true. Or one day I'll have a child and I can just do it legally.
I want to go on Choo Choo Train.
Isn't that wild?
35. I want to choo-choo.
You're not allowed. It's funny though. Look, I guess it makes sense. You know, it'll be kind of weird if some guy just decided to go to Gulliver's World.
Yeah, depending on how kiddie it is. Yeah, it'd be like going to Peppa Pig World and being like, "Oh no, just me." Really?
Excuse me. Oh. He's just this 40-year-old man with all Peppa Pig get up. Like, I'm just a fan, man.
I'm just ticking off the list. Just ticking off the list, my friend.
Anyway, speaking of ticking off lists, here's the jingle. Yeah, sure, why not? It is apparent to me that last week the Oscar nominations came out, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
They had 2 actors who were in some Oscar movies, I think, and they were announcing all the Oscars. And what was funny was I was watching it with my partner, and she said, "Hang on, isn't there an audience for this?" And I just thought, there is an audience. They're just showing the presenters. And then she goes, no, it's usually like so much more people. There's like a huge stadium. I was like, oh, you're thinking of the Oscars. This is the Oscar nominations.
Right, yeah.
And then she said, there's a difference. I was like, yeah, there's a difference. They announced, so she doesn't watch the Oscars. She has no idea.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, a month before the Oscars, they announced the nominations. And she goes, oh, why? Well, I was like, oh yeah, fair point.
That's a fair question. Yeah.
And it was just fascinating me because I follow like Oscar buzz and everything every year.
I would love that if everyone got invited to the Oscars, but you didn't know if you were even nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then every year you just get dozens of people that are just really, really annoyed.
That'd be amazing. And like, I guess the hype would be very quick. You know, you'd find out right there and then when they're announcing. It's like, oh my God. But I guess it'll be the case of the Academy, whoever they are, inviting every celebrity. And there's like a potluck. You don't know if you're going to be in it, but you might.
Look, just put your keys in the bowl and sit down.
Who's the regular guy who's always there? Like Billy Crystal comes out or something and like puts his hand in the bowl and swirls it around.
And the nominees for Best Picture. Batman and Robin.
Speaking of hosts, I'm excited to see the host of this year, Mr. Conan O'Brien himself.
Yes.
Conan O'Brien, first time Oscar host. Which I always thought he had done it at one point, but clearly he hasn't.
He's hosted other stuff.
He's hosted the Emmys.
Not the Academy Awards, yeah.
And his Emmy cold open was very funny, I remember.
What was his Emmy cold open?
He was just going through every TV show that was popular back then. So he was like, he ended up on the Lost Island. He was in The Office. Sure. He was just running around like being like, I'm not supposed to be here.
Okay, yeah.
There was a funny gag that he had where he ended up on the Lost Island and he was interacting with all the lost actors. And he starts MacGyvering some stuff. And he's like putting twigs together, sticks together, and then he builds a hairdryer and starts like drying his quiff.
Very good.
I thought it was quite good.
Anyway, yes. I can't believe it's taken up until now to get him to do it, but I'm sure he's going to be great.
Because it's not like
hopefully he does a bit with Paul Rudd.
Hopefully, his running gag with the Mac and Me clip.
It does need to be Paul Rudd announcing the winner for Best Picture. Just because the tension in the room will be so taut.
It'll be it's almost a given that's going to happen, but part of me is a little bit apprehensive because I don't know if the Academy would want to have the most prestigious award of the night be ruined by some gag.
I know.
Yeah. But if anything, I think it will probably be best. Maybe he'll come up and say something like the best award for best stunt or something like that.
Yeah.
And he goes like, "Oh, I read the wrong thing." And like, this is actually best editing or something like that. I guess maybe best editing, that would probably make sense for him to go up and announce. Anyway, we have decided, we being me and Matthew, we've decided to
not we as in the world.
And not,
so if you're listening thinking, I don't remember this, don't worry. You haven't got amnesia. It's okay.
Not we
maybe
as
you
in
do. Maybe you do have amnesia. In which case,
maybe you do.
This bit doesn't matter because you'll have forgotten it by the end. So
I know I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you again?
Who are you? We both did the same gag. Very good. Not we as in the whole world. Not we as in the old Nintendo console. Not we as in what the French say.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Pérez, I guess. Yes.
I thought we just decided our topic for the week by doing a wee on some leaves and then reading it like some sort of fortune teller.
I think it was like Kieran Culkin recently went on to Graham Norton and said, "Oh, the UK have such cute slang. Like you go out and it's raining, you grab yourself a brolly, you go people like they say instead of poop, you say poo. Take the P off. It's very cute. And I don't think people in the States say wee wee, do they? They just go, I need a tinkle. Or
we have got other ones that are not as cute, though.
I need a whiz.
Yeah.
What's another colloquial term for urinating?
Well, we've got one that's not so cute, and it's like, I need to go and have a slash. That's not so cute, is it?
Yeah. No, not really.
It's a bit dirty.
Or
but anyway, let's move away from it.
I gotta go hit the can.
Yeah. I gotta drop the kids off at the pool. And we're just there
awful.
going, yeah, well, I got to take a dump.
Yeah. That's American too.
Is that?
Oh, okay. I think so. Like, I think, what was it? Danny McBride and Hot Rod goes like, hey, everybody, I got to go take some dumpage. And then he just goes off. And,
We have talked about movements.
Poo-poo and pee-pee
in toilets. Poo-poo and pee-pee.
Pee-pee. That's what they say in the States. They go pee.
Yeah,
I need to go take a pee-pee.
Anyway, speaking of pee-pee, we decided...
Here are the Oscar nominations.
We decided... the statue's yellow. We decided to try and watch as many of the Best Picture nominees as we could. And
many, if not all, hopefully.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I think between us, we've done 9, haven't we? Technically.
Yes, we have.
We'll talk about how that works in a moment.
Here we go. The best... I'm gonna be the one who's who's announcing the nominations. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
The nominees for Best Picture are, and then we cut in a clip of Mac and me.
Oh, okay, yeah, very nice. Okay, we'll steal.
I don't know if we're allowed to do that. Can we do that? I don't know. No. So the actual nominees for Best Picture are Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, June Part 2, Emilia Perez, I Am Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance.
Yes,
and
I know
Wicked.
You're still here, Leslie. I'm listening to you.
So what does it mean? What does it mean when it says nominees to be determined?
I think that is which individuals would be picking up the award.
They haven't figured that out yet. The movie's been out for a while.
I guess they keep emailing and it keeps going to their spam, so they haven't replied.
Yeah.
Brutalist@gmail.com.
Who have they got? The same guy who announced La La Land as the Best Picture. I thought they got fired him.
They're like, we'll tell you when we win the award. Yeah, that's what'll happen.
So this week, unfortunately we weren't able to watch the same movies, but we have ticked off 2 of the 10. And in the past, we actually have ticked off another.
All together. So, which ones have you seen so far?
So, I've seen Wicked, Substance, June Part 2, Conclave, and The Complete Unknown, and I'm Still Here. So, I've actually seen 6 of them.
So that's 6. Now, I've seen Wicked Part 1, June Part 2, Conclave, and A Complete Unknown, which means 6 plus 4 is 10. So, we've managed to watch 10 Best Picture nominees, which means we've done our job. So today we're going to be doing 2 main reviews of 2 of the latest ones that have come out, and then maybe just doing a quick recap of some of the ones we've seen, which we have said is all of them, all 10 are done. Sure. And then, absolutely. I don't know, I guess we'll pitch something. A bit like last week. We'll just see what happens.
Who wants to go first? Would you like we can rock, paper, scissors it. Do we Rochambeau? We've never done this. This is the first time.
Go on then. We'll rock, paper. Okay. We'll try and make it as audio as possible. Okay?
Yeah, okay. You ready? 3, 2,
oh, wait.
1. Wait, it's 3, 2, 1, shoot, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you go.
Yeah.
You ready?
All right, we have to make it nice and...
This is because we're doing this remotely. It's going to be completely out of sync. But let's go. Okay, 1,
audio.
2, 3, shoot.
Pow! I smashed your scissors.
You smashed my... You did it. You can blame it on the lag, but I'm pretty sure you saw me throw the scissors first.
No, I didn't, mate. I didn't. I'm an honest boy.
Honest boy. So, I guess you get to choose.
Yeah, I guess. So, we're doing the ones that we've seen recently, right?
Yeah. Let's do the ones we've seen recently. So, what did you... Okay. I believe you watched this yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I managed to see A Complete Unknown yesterday. Very late in the evening. Sorry. Who? I don't know.
Who did you see?
Some guy who just goes around, ooh. I heard you boys on the podcast.
I got some pickled eggs.
Fortunately, it's not that all the way through the film.
Okay,
I thought going in that I would have to take a lot of time just to get used to the voice, because I find Bob Dylan's voice funny. Go on.
I heard you're not a big fan of biopics, are you?
No, musical biopics. Although they've turned it around this month. I've been corrected, I guess you could say, twice with Best Man, which was amazing, and then this one, which was absolutely totally compelling all the way through. I have no idea what the runtime was. It felt like
2 hours and 20, I think.
Okay, yeah, it felt like it could have been 2+ hours, but at the same time, it didn't stretch out. It wasn't boring. I've got my little notes here.
Yeah, let's hear your notes.
What's the story? The story
give me a
is
rundown.
Well, yeah, the story is it's Bob Dylan, but the film doesn't really go into. It's not a classic biopic in terms of like, here's me at 5 and I'm doing a voiceover. It starts with him traveling into New York.
He's like a step away from being some sort of news broadcaster. Today on Channel 5.
Today on Kids TV.
Yeah, go ahead.
The film starts with a Bob Dylan who I think it's implied that he's supposed to feel trapped. He's not successful yet. He's just traveled into New York, and he visits another musician who's in hospital, Woody Guthrie, famous folk musician, plays a song for him. And from there, that gets the ball rolling, because then these famous musicians are very happy to sort of publicize him. You've got who else have we got in the cast? Oh, you've got Ed Norton as I can't.
Ed Norton's in this.
Yeah. Let me just
reprising his role from Fight Club.
Yeah. A complete unknown. As
one thing about Bob Dylan is you do not talk about Bob Dylan.
Pete Seeger, who is actually the opposite of his character in Fight Club. He's like really nice, really well-meaning. So it's quite nice. It's not a biopic where it's like every other musician Bob Dylan comes across is maybe trying to stab him in the back or do any nefarious deals. If anything, the only person who's acting like a horrible person is probably Bob Dylan himself.
Oh, really?
So the film doesn't...
It's not like Elvis, where the Colonel is just taking advantage of him.
No, it's more
taking away his.
It's not even him taking advantage of other people so much. It's just the film portrays Bob Dylan as someone who thinks of himself as a genius and knows he's a genius, and will occasionally rub it in other people's faces, and will get frustrated if the rest of the world doesn't keep up with him.
Right. Okay.
There's a bit maybe halfway through the film where like he's really making it. He's really a big star, and then the crowd want him to sing one of his old songs, and he's like, "I'd rather play the new stuff. Like this isn't." He says, "This is not a request type gig. But if you want that, go to someone else."
Does he come across as quite egotistical and big-headed in this movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas everyone else around him, apart from maybe the ones that he has wronged, everyone else is like very nice to him, and I wouldn't say it's like your usual music biopic, because it doesn't really explore Bob Dylan in any great depth apart from his relationship to music, or with music rather. You're not going to get a flashback. The most you get is a glimpse of some scrapbook with pictures of Bob Dylan at his high school.
Sure.
It's almost like, and then one of the main characters deliberately shuts that and hides it away from other characters trying to get a look at it. So it's almost like the film is deliberately saying, this isn't what we're doing here. So you end up starting the movie and ending the movie with Bob Dylan as kind of an enigma. You can sort of see why he has that drive to succeed, and there are moments where there's almost a cruelty to his behavior. Similar to, it reminded me of how in Better Man, the Robbie Williams character and Robbie Williams in voiceover talks about having a competitiveness.
Yeah.
And it's sort of similar here, maybe not competitiveness, but it's like he wants to show people that he's a genius.
Okay.
And it is quite an entertaining, quite a funny bit partway through the film where he is just sick of people expecting something of him. So he goes the complete opposite way. And he's not making bad music, but he's like, okay, I'm going to make the music that I want, and I'm almost going to deliberately make it a style of music that you don't like or that you don't want. And I'm going to play that.
There's quite a few people who do that in the real life anyway. Like, for instance, I guess a recent example is how Todd Phillips decided to just completely alienate the audience that loved the first Joker, or something like what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix just pretending to be some sort of hip hop rapper for a little bit, and people wondering what's he doing?
Why are you doing this?
Because he finds it funny,
Yeah,
which incidentally is I'm Still Here, which is one of the Oscar-nominated pictures.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
Because it's interesting to them.
Yeah.
So I guess it also explores the relationship between the audience or the listener and the musician. The idea of, okay, if you're a musical artist, do you make what people want to hear? Do you just make what you want to do? Where's the middle ground there? Yeah, and the whole cast is amazing. It's not just Chalamet's show, as great as he is. He strikes a really good balance because he does a good Bob Dylan that's not a caricature and it's not an impression.
Who else we got? We got Elle Fanning. She any good?
Elle Fanning is great. Yeah, her character is sort of a very heartbreaking through line. As a sort of early Bob Dylan girlfriend.
Oh, Scoot McNairy. We got him.
Yeah, he shows up. He plays
Woody
Guthrie. Yeah.
Yes. And he is also in Speak No Evil, right? That was him. The dad who got, not James McAvoy, but the other dad.
McNairy, sorry, Speak No Evil. Yeah.
He's a good actor, I think.
Oh yeah. And there's also Dan Fogler, I think it's pronounced, and Boyd Holbrook. I'm big fans of those two. So whenever they show up, it's going to be a good time.
Dan Fogler. Ah, yes, he does ring a bell. The only thing that I've seen him in was that awful Fantastic Beasts movie. And yeah, great. So what's your rating?
What's my rating?
Quick.
I think it's not a full chatting pitch because
I was just going to interrupt you there for a sec.
Go on.
I was just going to be like, for people who don't know, the rating system is completely arbitrary.
That makes no sense.
It makes no sense, but it makes sense to us. And we don't do 5-star ratings. It is just chatting pitch. So our rating system ranges from C, which is the lowest, and then I guess CH is the next one.
And then all the way up. Well, let's go through them all. And then CHAT, and then CHATT. So it's a double T, two T's together, TT. And then CHATTI. And then after that, I believe it's CHATTIN. So chat-in. There's a distinction there between the chat-in and the next one. I can't help but feel like you're making fun of me. So anyway, I would give this... I'm not going to give it a full chatting pitch because it didn't give me the scene that I wanted, which is the scene where Bob Dylan has a conversation with the Beatles. Right. Why are you talking so weird? I'm not talking weird. You're talking weird. But I will give it a
That happens in the movie?
No, that's what I'm saying. I wish it did.
You wish it did, okay.
I'm going to give it a chatting pit, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn.
That's still quite high. It's good.
I think it's one of those where personally I really do not enjoy musical biopics because they are all the same. But what I like about this one is it takes its central character. He starts off as an enigma. He ends as an enigma. He starts off as a bit of an egotistical guy. He ends it as an egotistical guy. The fact that it's not that he learns nothing. but he doesn't
kind of
learn
does.
much. Yeah. And it's all these sorts of things where if you listed it, you don't explore him as a full person. You don't explore him as you don't explore his earlier life. All these things that people who like music biopics would maybe go, oh, is this a negative? I actually like the fact that it's a bit different.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I mean, you don't want to. A lot of musical biopics follow the same formula, but yeah, in the recent years there has been a good outing of, and I guess maybe Hollywood is just thinking, okay, we need to turn it on its head a little bit. We can't just keep doing the same thing. So, would you say your top 3 is Better Man, A Complete Unknown, and the Weird Al Yankovic Story?
Oh, I don't know if Walk Hard could maybe find its way into the top 3 as well.
Oh,
tricky.
Walk Hard is Walk Hard a
That's
parody
the Dewey Cox
of Johnny
story.
Cash?
Yeah. Walk Hard.
Yes.
Hard.
So,
with my favorite scene being where it's John C. Reilly, like still as John C. Reilly, but he's playing his character when he's like 15.
Oh, really?
and he's just clearly a grown man.
Okay, I still haven't seen it, but
it's really quite funny. So some of the Beatles stuff I'm not so sure about, but
okay. Isn't Paul Rudd one of the Beatles or something like that?
He is, yeah. It strikes me as one of those scenes where they just went, okay, let's switch the cameras on and see where we go. And it's like you could have had a good scene if you scripted it maybe a bit more.
Yeah. Oh well.
Maybe they did. Who knows?
Product of his time. Anyway, I guess we can move on to the next movie, which is the one that I watched yesterday.
Go on, hit me. What did you see?
So this movie actually didn't come out recently. It came out last year in cinemas. I guess that could be recent, but it recently was uploaded to the hit streaming service Netflix, not a sponsor. So the movie that I watched was Emilia Perez. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it in a Spanish twang Mexican accent because that would be very off-color. But there is a way of pronouncing it because they do it throughout the movie. And I had no idea. I should have seen the signs coming, but I had no idea it was a Spanish-speaking movie. And I went in thinking it was going to be an English-speaking movie because prior to watching this, there were a lot of clips that were released of English-speaking scenes. So I just assumed, because one of the main actors in it was Zoe Saldana, who is from Avatar fame, Guardians of the Galaxy fame. She plays Gamora. She plays the blue person. I forget her name. In
Green,
Avatar.
blue. She can play any color you want. She's great.
Yeah. So this time she plays a Mexican lawyer. And I had no idea that she spoke fluent Spanish. And she does it for most part of the movie.
Okay.
There are some English scenes, but for the most part, she is Spanish speaking because she's actually Dominican. And she has dual nationality, I'm guessing. She's half American, half Dominican. It's Dominican American, South American, right?
Central American, I think. Yeah.
My Central American. My geography is awful. Hence why I get lost and I need to use a sat nav all the time.
Yeah, you keep finding yourself in the Central American jungle. I just wanted to get bread from the co-op.
And I keep asking everyone, is this North America or South America? Anyway, so the story is, well, actually, first off, before I talk about the story, I have to tell you the genre of the movie. It is a bit of a mix mash of different genres. It's a Mexican drug cartel movie. It is a drama. I guess there are moments of thrillers as well. Actually, instead of saying drama, it's more of a melodrama because it's very melodramatic.
Okay.
And on top of all that, there's also a musical. So, surprise.
I was going to say that as a joke, but okay.
Did you know that?
No.
So this movie is a mishmash of loads of genres. I thought it was a joke that the musical aspect was part of it, but no, it really is a full-on musical. So when I said earlier that there was there were clips circulating around, I had already seen this clip and I knew that it was going to be musical, and it was an English song that was being played. And there's been a lot of discourse online about the quality of the movie and the quality of the writing and how ridiculous it sounded. But out of context, maybe that would be the case. But having watched the movie, it really is not that great.
Oh, what? The movie itself is not that great?
Well, no, the music aspect of it.
Oh, okay.
I think the music... I'll get to that anyway. But here's the story. So it's about a unappreciated Mexican lawyer who's going... Like they have like a short narrative scene in the beginning, like you know, when you
like
have
a little prologue.
Like a little prologue. That's it. That's it. For some reason, the first thing I could think of was like James Bond openings. Like they have their little mini movie. That's where my mind went to. But this is not a James Bond movie. This is very much a serious drama / musical. And the first prologue was just seeing the life of the Mexican underappreciated lawyer trying to win a court case. And then she is hired by a Mexican drug lord. And the drug lord says, and this is the whole plot, by the way. I'm not... Sorry, it's in the trailers. I'm not spoiling anything.
Right.
Okay.
This is setup.
This is the setup. So essentially what happens is this drug cartel, this drug lord hires this Mexican underappreciated lawyer to help him have a sex change and become a woman, because it was always his or her or their calling to be a woman. And she goes, oh, I'm not really sure. I'm going to have to do some digging around. Meanwhile, she's handcuffed and in the car and being held hostage.
Right.
And said, I can make you very rich if you do this for me. So eventually it happens. But the fallout of that is that he has to abandon his family, or they have to abandon the family to live this new life as a woman. I don't know the name of the...
So what
actor.
does she just like completely... Does she tell them that she's going, or does she just disappear?
No, so there's a little bit of a white lie that's been told, and the white lie is your husband's dead.
Okay.
And then the wife and the children like go off and they see the news, like, oh my god, husband's died.
But there's a massive explosion. Oh, the only thing we could find.
Yeah, let's not go there. But anyway, yeah. So that's the setup, and then it's in the trailer. I guess I could talk about it, but spoilers if you haven't seen it. Eventually, like years later, Zoe Saldana's character, Mexican lawyer, is at a dinner party in London, and then bumps into the drug lord who is now living the life as a woman, and then realizes, oh, I didn't fancy seeing you here. What are you up to? And then we see the life as it chronicles through whatever happens her life as a woman, and it becomes a melodrama, and there are things that are so over the top and just, you know,
intentionally so. You know,
I think intentionally so. It's quite campy as a movie. Okay. Like especially with the musical numbers as well. Now, having said that, there's been a lot of polarizing opinions online. Critics love it, clearly, because it's been nominated for an Oscar. Audiences hate it. There's been a lot of criticism due to the portrayal of Mexicans. Because the director, I must try and get this correct.
That's interesting, because the very few critics that I've read up on in terms of this movie have also very much disliked it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'm not looking at the right critics then.
No, just look at the different ones, aren't we?
Yeah. But the director, Jacques Audiard, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's a French name. Okay. So there's been a lot of backlash of his lack of research to Mexican culture.
Okay.
And the fact that a French man was directing a Mexican movie about a trans protagonist. And it just seems like a lot of people are upset over the lack of, I guess, what's the word?
I mean, that's interesting.
Research, I guess.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying either way because I haven't seen the movie. But I think it's quite an interesting thing to jump on if people are saying, well, he's French, therefore he
can't direct.
That's like saying, why didn't the director of Conclave, why didn't we get the Pope to do it?
Why wasn't he Italian? Yeah.
Why didn't Pope John Paul II get on the cast list or the crew list, you know?
Oh, Steven Spielberg's AI movie. Why didn't they just get an actual robot to direct this movie? Yeah.
So that's not me saying either way because I haven't seen it. But
so having said that, I went in already knowing this discourse, and I don't think that took away from the movie because I personally, from my perspective, I don't know that much about Mexican culture. I don't know that much about the trans culture or the lawyer culture. I don't know. And having watched the movie, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. It was very middle of the road. I think I probably disliked it more than I liked it.
Okay.
Because I wasn't really sure who this movie was for. I guess there was a level of, I wasn't swept away by the story, but it was intriguing. There was a narrative in there that I wanted to know what was going to happen next, but that is kind of the nature of melodramas. Story-wise, it's a little bit all over the place, but there is a message to it, and I can't really get into the message without spoiling it.
Okay.
But there's a bit of a reveal later on. But it does get very over the top. And like I said, I didn't hate it. But what I didn't particularly like were the musical numbers because it just felt very out of place. I felt like this movie could have existed without it being a musical, but I think they were just trying to do something different. Not sure if this was adapted from a musical or a play or anything like that. I think it could be an original screenplay.
Okay.
But I didn't, as a fan of music, I did not really like the music in this.
Okay.
It just felt very tacked on. And some of the lyrics, especially the English-speaking songs, just did not seem well composed. Like it felt like they were just singing the plot of the movie.
Okay.
And let me give you an example. There's a scene where Zoe Saldana's character, very early, this is like 10 minutes into the movie, she goes to do some research to try and find surgeons to try and give this drug cartel a sex change.
Sure. And the whole cartel. Jeez. Yeah, that would be quite difficult. Next. Step up to the table.
Just the one drug lord. Just the one drug lord. And she's going around all these. So she had to fly to Bangkok, and then they start singing a song about
we're flying to Bangkok. My luggage.
Can I tell you?
Go on.
I'm gonna try and sing a little bit for you.
Go on.
Okay, because. And I'll
a chatting pitch first, ladies and gentlemen. Leslie Way is about to sing a song from Emilia Perez.
This is going to sound like a joke, okay? This is going to sound like a joke, but these are the actual lyrics of the song, okay? So Zoe Saldana, she opens up the door, and then there's loads of surgeons around, and she goes something, paraphrasing here a little bit, but she's like, hello, I would like to find out about the sex change operation. And then the surgeon goes, yes, I understand. And then
Have you filled out the paperwork?
Let me finish. Okay. So he goes, so let me ask you, is it woman to man or man to woman? And then Zoe Saldana goes, it is man to woman. And then the surgeon goes, yes, penis to vagina.
Okay. So, yeah, like you say, it could have just been dialogue, because that's
It
the
could've
one
just
the advantage of having musical numbers in your movie is that you can heighten the experience and have them use quite expressive, quite figurative language, and it fit in a way that it wouldn't with dialogue. But are you saying it sounded pretty much like dialogue just to a tune?
It's like someone put dialogue from the screenplay and use some sort of Google Translate musical like thing. And it's like, make this into music.
Put
like,
over music now, please.
Would you like rhinoplasty? Would you like penoplasty? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I would.
I'll take both.
If you watch Emilia Perez, that is literally what it sounds like to me. I might be over-exaggerating, but that's how I felt anyway. And it just seemed really ridiculous and out of place. There was one moment where it was all in Spanish. And I saw on Netflix that there was an option of English dub. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I wonder what the English songs would sound like.
Okay.
And the English song sounds like just English. They didn't overdub that. But then, the Spanish ones, they did try to overdub it. But the poor voiceover artists, they're clearly not singers. And they didn't sing. They just rhythmically spoke the words. So instead, it was just like, I've got a mission for you, and I am going to send you off to give me a sex change. And the poor voiceover artist probably just got given.
Do you think this is similar to? Because I've also noticed that some movies that have subtitles built in, for example, Inglourious Bastards was where I first noticed this, where streaming services get rid of the original subtitling and then put in their own subtitling. Do you think it would be a bit like that?
Yes, it's a little bit like that.
Which I hate, by the way. Because the original subtitles...
One second, my doorbell's gone.
The subtitle police, they've come for you.
1 second.
Leslie's gone to open his door. Who will it be? I want to listen into this conversation. I'll report everything I hear. I think he shut the door. Something about the back. Something about his back door. Possible medical issue.
Yeah, I need to get a back door operation.
I need to get a butt change.
Butt plasty, get your butt plasty. Anyway, that's the movie. I think I'm going to give it a chat, double T.
Okay, so not great.
Pretty low.
Pretty low.
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Otherwise, I would have probably given it a C. It's not that bad.
Right.
But I would say the movie didn't work for me, really.
Okay.
It wasn't my cup of tea.
Okay.
Let's just say
That's a shame.
But you could try it. You can give it a go. It is quite funny at points. There are points where it is quite funny. But also kind of baffling.
Okay.
It's a bit of it's like
are you, because a lot of the critics I've read up on their main point was they were incredibly surprised that this was on the nominee list. Would you say that you're surprised?
It's definitely not Best Picture. And
so it doesn't match up with the others that we've seen?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
From my point of view, so what have I seen? I've seen Dune Part 2. It's come anywhere near Dune Part 2.
Conclave.
The Substance, very good. Loved her Substance. I think that is a good Oscar contender. Conclave. Yeah, Conclave was a way better movie.
Right.
What else was there? Complete Unknown, which I haven't seen yet. I've still yet to see it. There's another one that I've seen. I mentioned it earlier on. What was the other one?
Nickelback. No, I'm being facetious, of course.
Yeah, I'm being facetious. Wicked was the other one that we saw. And yeah, I enjoyed Wicked. Like, in terms of musicals, like, Wicked is by far the better musical.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't think it was that great.
Okay. It's a shame, but
there were things to enjoy about it. The melodrama, especially, I thought was quite interesting, and it did engage me a little bit. And I just thought, that's funny. It's funny that they did that. So there were moments where I was amused.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it really.
Okay. Well, that's the review portion of the episode done.
Let's mash it up, baby.
I don't know how we mash them up. Hey, let's do that Bob Dylan film, but as a musical.
Yeah. Where Bob Dylan gets a sex change.
Bob Dylan has a sex change.
Well, here's the mid-break jingle anyway.
I guess back in those times, Bob Dylan having a genre change was enough for people to be shocked.
Yeah.
He's using an electric guitar.
So how much music is there actually?
He's trying something different. There is quite a bit, but it's not too much.
Okay.
And most every time it's not a heightened experience. It's not okay. Timothy Chalamet is now singing and he's telling the story of Bob Dylan. Like whenever there's a song, it's because he's writing a song or he's playing at a gig,
playing a concert. Yeah. Whereas in Emilia Perez, it's like, I need to go to the toilet. Like 1 step, 2 step, left foot, right foot.
Pull my pants down, sit back down.
Oh gosh!
Oops, I peed on the seat.
I don't blame the musicians who came up with the songs because I think they were instructed to do so in that fashion, but it was not good. Anyway,
some musicals have that choice to make, though, don't they? Because they run from the whole spectrum. Because Les Mis does that a little bit, a bit more successfully, but where I'm not saying they should have done in Les Mis, but you could take out some of the songs and just have it as dialogue scenes.
Yeah.
So I suppose you got to find that balance, haven't you?
You do have to find that you're pined. You have to Chris Pine that balance. You think about some musicals, like say for instance, The Lion King original, and you can't have that movie without the songs because that elevates. Like you said, it elevates.
Yeah.
But then if it was just them singing, I just can't walk through this forest.
Yeah.
And they're just singing the dialogue.
Yeah.
What's the point, really?
Yeah. Doesn't lighten anything.
What we're we going to pitch?
I guess we can pitch our own musical, I guess.
We've got some stuff. Stuff, yeah.
What
our own musical that has anything to do with Bob Dylan or Emilia Perez?
Maybe we could combine them both, so it's a musician.
Let's Frankenstein this. Take aspects of each one, and just make some sort of abomination of a musical.
Yeah.
All right. So how about we create a new character who is he's a singer,
right?
But he wants to be a lady singer.
Wait a minute, is that a lady singer?
I don't know where I'm going with this, but if you want to try and mash it up,
he's on the run from a drug cartel.
What about he's on the run from a drug cartel, and the only way to fool them is to do a genre change, but he needs to have.
That's not Bob Dylan. That man's got an electric guitar. That can't be Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan's on stage sweating. I think they bought it.
There's a moment where it zooms in and he catches his harmonica. It's like, he has to hide the harmonica real quick because that's his part of his.
I've lost you. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where Leslie has gone. I've lost him. I don't even know if I'm still recording. My screen says I'm recording.
Hello, sorry, I lost you there for a second. Yeah, there was a brief moment where the internet cut out. I think I'm still here.
You're super fuzzy, but hi.
Oh, okay. Hello there. Let me turn it off.
So what was your idea?
What was my idea?
So Bob Dylan's sweating, and then I think they bought it.
Yeah, so there's a brief moment where he has a harmonica still attached to his neck, and then he realizes, and he has to quickly shove it back into his pocket.
But as he's trying to shove it, his mouth keeps touching it, so he just.
And the movie could still be called A Complete Unknown because I don't know
because he doesn't.
This is the reboot.
Yeah.
But
he's on the run. Yeah.
So this guy.
But we could go further. So he's not just playing electric. It's like Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan on the cover of like Time magazine, and it's like Bob Dylan quote marks. I'm going into hip hop now. Close quote marks. Yeah.
New stage name, Bob Dylan.
I like that he's trying to go undercover, but he's publicizing.
I hope they don't notice. Yeah. So hip hop artist Bob Dylan.
My son's just come into the room, so if you hear any background noises, like he just dived into his little dinosaur chair.
Oh,
hello, mate. How was football? Good. Did you get your stickers?
Yeah.
Nice. High five. This is advice to anyone who's like maybe about to have kids or planning on having kids. Stickers. They're obsessed with stickers. Yeah. 5 minutes, mate. Go and have some fun downstairs. See, this is an added wrinkle with recording that his bedroom really acoustically is the best room.
It's because it's got the most soft toys in it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, we've talked about this before, yeah.
Why don't we try and wrap up this movie? So
Sure.
He's trying to do a genre change. He's gone into hip hop. Mr. Bob Dylan.
MC Bob Dylan. And he's trying to hide from the... So what are the drug cartels doing at this point as well? Are they musical? Maybe they're trying to keep up with his genre changes.
I guess so.
So every time, so they went electric. So then Dylan went hip hop.
Yeah. So all these drug cartel people are trying to find him, but like the only way to find him is to learn how to use like sampling machines,
different
how
instruments.
to scratch vinyls.
There was a bit in the Bob Dylan movie, right, which just shows how little I know about music. You would know this straight away. There's a bit where there's this musician who's trying to get in his band, but they've already got a guitarist. So he goes, basically, screw it. I'm going to go into the recording studio, and instead of playing guitar, I'm just going to play, what was it? Like an organ or something.
Okay.
And, eventually he figures out how to turn it on. And then one of the other musicians just leans over and goes, it's in C. And I'm like, sure.
Oh, okay.
What does that mean?
So it's in C means that's the key that they need to be playing in.
Okay.
So if they're saying it's in C, it's either C major or C minor. Okay. So he's just telling you, like, instead of going like, la, 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 you have to be like, la, 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 like that's the key that you need to sing. Otherwise, you'll be out of key. So
maybe the drug cartels could be trying to follow his key changes as well.
Oh, man. Like, the drug cartel is just like, all they know is just the regular keys.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
And
they don't know the Q's and the
They
X's.
haven't been expanded yet to Z.
Time magazine cover again. Bob Dylan, the man who discovered the Z note.
No, MC Bob Dylan.
MC Bob Dylan, sorry. Yeah.
Because Bob Dylan doesn't exist in his world.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the thumbnail. Yeah, so I guess how does it end?
By the time the drug cartel catch up to him, they're really musically talented.
But then at that point,
they discover that it's more about they want to keep touring.
Oh, okay, sure. Well, I was going to say, like, it was going to be like a Catch Me If You Can situation where MC Bob Dylan is 3 steps ahead. So he's already changed his future genre. Yeah. And he's gone into fusion jazz.
One of the members of the drug cartel is like, I don't get the progression of this song. And
then they realize, like, we can't mash up hip hop and jazz, or can we? And then the credits roll.
It turns out we couldn't.
Turns out we could, yeah.
But also maybe he is 3 steps ahead until the end of the movie where they catch him, and then the drug cartel realize, actually, we enjoyed chasing you around because we learned about music and we learned about ourselves.
Yeah, it's not about the genre; it's about the notes that we learned along the way. Chatting Pitch has been brought to you by Leslie Way and Matthew D. Smith. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to listen to others and maybe even subscribe. You can follow us on the website, formerly known as Twitter.
Listen to us on Spotify or wherever else you listen to podcasts. Leslie and Matthew have their own side hustles as well. Feel free to check out Leslie's YouTube channel or Matthew's Medium blog. Links in the description. If you want anything else, we might have other links in the description if we think of anything interesting to add. Thank you for listening. I love you.